Greetings and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to import data from Excel sheet into Google Earth and Google Map. Many of us collect location data, that is longitude and latitude, and would like to see them or present them in Google Maps and Google Earth, or use it for publication or for presentations. This is what this tutorial is going to be about. So let's get started and see how this works. Great, so everyone who collected data knows this kind of format, longitude and latitude, that's available in any GPS device or even cell phone. If you have an iPhone, you can go Compass in the built-in app of the iPhone and it will give you the coordinates for any location. So for me, I gathered information about 31 trees, okay, and I collected the longitude and latitude, and I would like to see these plotted in Google Maps and then also in Google Earth. So I basically go ahead and open Google Maps first. So Google Maps will be here. This is Google Maps. Okay, in Google Maps, this is what you normally see. There are options here. If you go here, you can go to your places. Once you open that, you have these options. First of all, the labeled options. You have locations that are labeled. You can also create a list, any kind of list here, from here, and then you gather all your information from the field here about all the trees that you collected. That I already collected the 31 trees. You can, of course, highlight the places or save places that you already visited if you here on that options. What you want to go is to maps. So from my places, what we need to go, this is my places, your places, you go maps. In maps, you can click on see all your maps if you have more than one. So these are your maps. And here you can create a new map. Okay, so that you can do. You can also go here at the bottom and you say create map. And once you click on that, it takes you to this page. You can see the icon here is different. This is called My Maps and this is Google Maps. And this is where things happen. So this is, for example, my map. And so you have a variety of options. You have a new map, copy this map, you can open it, you can open the data sheet, you can export it, and we'll do that later on. You can embed this map that you created in your website, for example, your business or your home or whatever information. In my case here, the whole bunch of trees. So I can name this trees. This is where my trees are. And then you click on import. Okay. You click import and then you import your Excel sheet here. You can see it accepts CSV, Excel, KML, GPX files here. So any file, even text file actually is accepted. So this is my file, Excel file. I open it, it will be imported. And here I tell the Google Maps that I need it to be in longitude and latitude, just in case you confuse the columns. They are all here, and it gives you information here, some of the samples. If you click here, you see sample of the data. Okay, if you want to see this, these are the three labels. So the placeholders will be based, the place marks would be based on longitude and latitude. So I go next, and then I wanted the titles be using the three labels. So these labels will be the titles for my place marks. So I click finish, and now it is plotting my trees, and there you go. My trees are all plotted nicely here. Now, if I wanted to change the maps, there are a whole variety of maps here, much more than the three that you are used to, which is the satellite and the map and the terrain. Here's a map. Here's a satellite, if you are interested in. Here is also the terrain map, which is very useful for those who are plotting the GPS. There's also a variety of other maps with different colors and different formats, as you can see here. That can be used depending on the way you want to present your data. I usually use terrain because I want to see the contours, which is always available in this case. Okay, now these are my blue. The blues are my the blue colored place marks here. Can be changed from here. If you go here, you can change them to red or to yellow. You know, any color you want. You can also change the icon itself. For example, this is a tree, so I'm going to change it to a tree. There you go. So now they have changed to red, and the trees maybe more appropriate to be green. So that's how it is for my maps. Now there are options too. For example, if you click here, these are all labeling the same place marks in the same color in uniform style. But you can have sequence of numbers for all your trees from 1 to 31. Okay, so this is the number of trees that you have. And also you could have another option. Each tree or each place mark has its own individual style based on, for example, tree label. You can also have, and then you go to each one of them, and for example, this one you can make this red or yellow. So this is individual style. Okay, you can also sort them by any kind of information: latitude, longitude, altitude, or even label, like now. So I add them by label because each label is different. So each label will get a different color, as you can see here. So it will be, it is probably clearer to see it here. So you can see the labels here. You can also sort them out by, for example, range, like here. This is now by categories. You can also sort them by, for example, latitude. Okay, so this is in one latitude. These are in different latitude, and you can see the colors have changed depending on the latitude of these trees. And here you can also create categories as well if you are interested. What I usually do is basically uniform style for now, just to show you only how to upload them here. And I use the terrain map. So this is how it's done. This is how you do it. And of course, you can always change the labels, and you can give description to your trees, to your map. For example, these are wild, large, old trees in Hajar Mountain. Any kind of description is going to be there. And so now when you click on any of these trees, you can see you have the information that's already in the sheet. You can also add a picture. You can add a photograph. For example, you can search from your own photo. You can upload a picture. You can search actually an image. For example, trees in Hajar Mountain. Of course, you have to consider the copyright when you are doing this. So, for example, this is my tree. So you could, just to show you, to illustrate how this works. And then you save it. That's it. Now, every time you click on any of these, will have its own picture, just like such. You can see the photograph that you took for that location. You can also edit the description and the data here. You can edit the label as well. So here you can say, for example, acacia tree. You can name it. You can add any information to it right here from Google Maps. Okay. Of course, you can delete it, and you can also click on directions to here if you are interested. But this is the place mark, and this is the longitude and altitude for this particular tree with the picture. That's it. That's how you do it. You can, of course, add more information here. This is another placeholder. You can add another new added to your map. You can add as much as you want. Here's another tree, for example. If you are interested, you can also delete, of course. And here you can draw lines. For example, you want to highlight where your trees are in the at this latitude, and then that's it. This is also, you can have a variety of options for them. Quadrant 1, for example, and then you save it, and it gives you all the information, and you can even change the colors, of course, for this particular quadrant, as you can see here. You can see that now it has changed. So you can have a variety of options here. You can also measure distance between trees. For example, if you want to see the distance between this tree and this tree, and you can see it is 3.356 kilometers. You can also measure it to here. So that's how you do the measurements of trees, or the spacing, using this ruler here on top. Okay, this gives you the direction. This gives you a place mark, and here it gives you this line that I have just created. So this is basically my tree map. So technically I'm done. I can change now the map to any other style I'm interested in, and I can, as I showed you here, you can change. You can share this information now with anyone that you are interested in. You can also share the link, and you can share. You can add the people here in this their emails, or for example here I can share to my other email, and then you can write as a message here, as you would normally do, and that's it. This becomes an editor. You can see here you can have options. He is whoever is you are inviting, he or she is a viewer or editor. That's up to you. You can also have more options here, what editors can do and what viewers can do. Okay, and then you can send this email to that particular person, and you can, of course, that person can contribute also to the map, and it shows you who is contributing right here. So this is how it's done. Now, one more step that we are interested in, which is basically how we can view this in Google Earth. So now what we are going to do is to export this file as KML or KMZ, so it can be, of course, this can be embedded, by the way, before we go to the export. It can be embedded to your website, so you can get the, if it's not set for private, of course, but it can be embedded. You can also delete it. You can do a variety of things with it. But what we wanted to do now, export it so we can use it in Google Earth. Now we are using, remember, we are using now Google Maps. So you can export the whole map that you see here right now in front of your eyes, or only the data related to the trees. And here also you have options to what to export and what to keep. Now I will export this file, and here I'm going to keep it as same on the desktop. Here's my desktop, so I can easily import it later on as KMZ file. So that's the file now exported as KMZ, and now I will go and open Google Earth. Of course, as you already probably know, Google Earth can be downloaded to your desktop, but there is an online version, a little bit limited in terms of, for example, measuring the altitude and some of the little options that are added in Google Earth Pro that is installed on your desktop. This is the online version. Here, what you can do, of course, Google Earth is to explore Google Earth and so on, but that's not what we are going to use it for. Google Earth here in our case is going to be used to import data. Okay, so this is what I needed: my projects, and also map style I have, and some of the measurements that I can do. Here is a place mark, and here is a line similar to the one you saw. Remember, Google Earth always comes as a satellite, right? So here is how to import the data. You click here in projects, and then you say new project. So here you have options to import data files from my computer. So I'm going to do this, import KML, the one I just saved from Google Map. Here, KMZ, open. There you go. You have the same data set here. Remember, we had this with a picture. I don't think it will import the pictures, but it imported even the line, the quadrant line here. So this is now plotted in Google Earth, as you can see here. So the options here are limited compared to what you have in Google Maps, because they're specifically my maps, but all the information are presented here. This is very helpful and useful. You can see the image has not been imported because I did not set that in the export, but it's here, right here. And so here you have options on how to present your information, okay, and also options on measuring the distance and all the information that you wanted to collect. For example, here you can also do the same thing. You can see here, this is the distance between this and this tree. It's already collected here. And the same thing can be done between any two two locations. So you can copy this distance here, right? If you are interested, you can also start from scratch. Basically, this is for presenting your data. You can, of course, add the same thing. You can add any place mark here. You can edit it to the list. You can add it to your own list, the one just created. You can edit the place. For me, I'm going to remove for now. You can also do the same thing, just like we did before. As you can see, just like same like we did in Google Maps. Okay, so these options are similar. You can go 3D here. What's interesting here, you can present your data in a very interesting way. So this is my project, and when my project is done and completed and labeled, I can go present, and here I can present my information, location information one by one in Google Earth, and you can see how neat it is and how very useful it is for those who are collecting data and presenting data in any conference or any kind of settings, any way they like. Okay, so basically that's how it is. So this is my last tree, and then my quadrant, the one I marked before on top. That's how it is. And so now you can actually also the same thing. You can export this information as KML file. You can see it here. You can export, and you can modify the label for this particular map. Okay, so that's basically it. This is what I wanted to show you, and this information can all be same thing, like my pictures and all of that can be added here. These are my projects. You can have more than one project. Okay, you can have more than one map and more than one project in Google Earth, as well as in my maps in Google Maps. So next time when you save your data, or when you go my Google Maps here, you go to Maps again, and you can find your new project here. You can click on it. You can open it in my maps, as I mentioned. You can see it here, but you cannot edit it. If you want to edit it, you click on my maps, and here you see it, and you can edit it. That's how it's done. And so I hope this was very helpful and useful tutorial. I wish you good luck, and if you are interested or supporting or like what you have seen, please share it with others, as well as like it. Or if you don't like, of course, you can always dislike it, and subscribe to the channel so we can do more of these tutorials and benefit and help everyone, especially in research and education. Take care and have a great day. Goodbye.